Good afternoon, everybody. It's 4. We have a really cool session coming up about astronomy. Our next speaker, Luiz, has loved astronomy ever since he was little. He would look at the stars and want to study them, understand what's going on. And there are studies where people say, why do we need to know about astronomy? What is the purpose of astronomy? It's interesting. Tell me more about it, but I don't want to dedicate a lot of my time on this, and also money. A lot of times you hear government, why are we researching space? Why are we sending rockets to space? Why are we studying planets that are so far away while there's people that are hungry? Our next speaker has spoken all over the world on this topic. He is very familiar in the Campus Party Europe circuit, and his interest in this led to him having a scholarship, moving to Germany, and preaching why this is a very important topic. I've said enough. I think he will take it over now. Give a big applause to Luiz.
So yeah, what introducing? Was pretty awesome, actually. Yeah, so I'm Luiz. I want first of all to thank for the organization. It was amazing. The volume, all the details, everything really good. And the introducing mainly, it's really nice. Thanks a lot. And also to thank you. I mean, look at that. We're in the campus party. There's so much entertainment things running around, and you're here listening about astronomy. That's pretty awesome. So thanks a lot to be here. And yeah, there are mainly two kind of persons that are listening to me now. I think the first one are the ones interested in astronomy, like you here. The second one's my mom that's watching via streaming. So hi mom, it's always good to say, she loves that. And and so that's the thing, why astronomy, right? I think we all have this same feeling. We see news after news in the newspaper, and it's always the same. We're always thinking at first this must be really tiring, really complicated things, you know, but sometimes it's not that much, and we still have curiosity. And this is the curiosity I want to fix with you here and speak about. We'll do something really chilly and not so much theory things, but let's try to understand more our curiosity about astronomy. So don't feel shy when you don't understand something when you read, because actually it's pretty common in media to read things like that, you know. Suspect meteorite found in Waterford. So the first thing you think is what the meteorite has done, I mean, why he's suspected. And so you have a full text speaking about a stone that was found, but nobody knows actually if it comes from the sky or not. So actually it's pretty common to see people confused about knowledge in astronomy. And it has always been this way. We are always curious about, since while we were crossing the seas, we were looking in the sky, searching for some direction. We have our questions. We use it also the sky to plant. We use it the sky to answer religious questions. And also, we had some people that, like Copernicus, put the lenses to the sky and told from nothing that we are not in the center of the universe, and then they changed everything. Nowadays, it continues the same. The question has changed a bit. We are asking how old are we, what's the fate of the universe, and of course, what everyone wants to know, what are the aliens, you know? They exist and everything. We're still having the same questions, just with a slightly different approach, let's put it this way. And we can start wonder, why are we looking so much for the answers, where it's eternal questions and questions and questions. And the thing is, we need to look for the answers. Actually, this pursuit for answers that changes our life completely. And I will give you a better example of how it has changed so far. We can go, for example, this is actually the examples that I really like to speak with people. Let's start with something that's in your pocket. We are always looking at the sky, as I told. We were using the sky to navigate, and we start to create maps. And from these maps, we start to draw some lines, some guidelines. That was the beginning of the latitude and longitude conception. After this, we had a map and we knew how to go through it. So we had a brilliant idea. Why don't you do the opposite? We have eyes looking the sky, so why don't we put eyes on the sky looking to us? And this was the beginning of global positioning system, what you guys probably know as GPS, and you guys have this on your pocket. Astronomy helped to develop things like that, and you are basically using to find where the campus party is or something like that. We can see on the cell phone. I really like this example because always when I tell a guy takes the cell phone and look and say, yeah, there's astronomy inside. And this is the second thing. I don't know if it's from your age or if you remember that, but we had cameras that we used films inside. The guy's laughing, he do remember. So we had this film that was sensible to light with maximum 36 frames, you know, and this means that we could just take maximum 36 photos, basically, you know. And then things changed really, really fast in the early 20s when we changed the films to a thing called CCG, Chartered Coupled Device, mimics, but we know as CCG. And this small ship was developed by NASA when they were studying how best was the way to do the Hubble telescope. So it was made popular and changed photography completely from all of the sun, you know, from 1 hour to do in few moments, let's put it this way. So, and we changed not only astronomy but also photography. We have this, one of the classics from Hubble, you know, the Hubble Deep Field, where we had this, basically this photograph machine on the space, photographing for 10 days straight. And we got something like that. I mean, it's so much information that's even hard to start. We have stars close by, we have many galaxies, and something that I particularly love to look on this photo. It's so clear to see gravitational lenses, you know, all around. So this is actually, we can hold the Romans for the questions we have to go through, but this is the kind of beauty we can do when searching answers in astronomy. Actually, this is the thing that I prepared and I was so proud of, but actually when I arrived here, this example won't work. I have been already in some campus party around the world, and I don't know why, I read it somewhere that this would be the first campus party with Wi-Fi, but not this time, you know. That's quite disappointing, but anyway, we have our public Wi-Fi that people put around. It won't kill the example. Do you guys ever wondered how we have Wi-Fi, what Wi-Fi is, how the internet's propagating? We have internet all around. What is that, you know? So the Wi-Fi are purely radio waves traveling around, and you have some receiver, that your phone or something, and you just get it. In the early 70s, the radio astronomers, they had a big problem. They had the images, the radio astronomy images, but it was full of noise. We needed to put the signal clear, and so they developed a method to put noisy smaller and the signal better. This was exactly the same idea propagated to the internet, to put internet all around. And in this way, we also help it to have Wi-Fi. So, and at this point, you would conclude. So, okay, basically, we are studying astronomy to develop technology. And I would answer you, not only. Let's make a bridge here that I'm quite sure that at least half of you never imagined. Astronomy helped medicine, and medicine is helping astronomy. There's a connection between astronomy and medicine. So, let's go for it. Both of disciplines use X-rays. Have some picture of X-rays here that probably you guys have saw somewhere, and we have a Chandra telescope here. This is a telescope in the space. Of course, the configuration is a bit different. When we are talking about medicine, we have an X-ray source, a part of our body in the middle, and then a film in the end. What happens is Our bones are much more dense than the other tissues, the tissues and the muscles. And then the X-ray photons come, it will cross the hand, will stop in the bones and create some image like that, as we know. In the second configuration, we have what we have in the sky. We have a galaxy as source of X-rays, we have something in the middle that we want to study, and we have a telescope in the sky. So, maybe until here it's too theoretical for you. So let's give you I will give you an example. You have two images there. You know, it's like a game. One of them comes from astronomy and the other one from the medicine. I'll give you some time, you can look for it and you can decide which one is the sky and the other one is the person. Okay, time is over, quite fast. So the first one is Cassiopeia A, is a supernova reminiscent in the Cassiopeia constellation. And this is an X-ray taken from the chimp, the X-ray from the brain but taken from the chimp. So you can see there are pretty similarities. When you develop a method to study one image, you are automatically interfering in the other. You're automatically helping the other. So, and then until here, maybe it's something too still. I mean, there are always people that want more and more example. I mean, it's not so clear for me why it's so important, and things completely share. I mean, they have their reason. And we go deep on it. Let's speak about big things, you know. So now, why astronomy is needed now? I mean, it was always, but it's still. We have here footage from Russia, February 2013, and I will try to stop here. Don't know if it's gonna work. I don't think so. Anyway, we go straight to the damage. I couldn't stop the image when the meteor hit it. Maybe I can come back and we can watch it again. It's quite amazing. You know, these fireballs, they are real stuff. Do not speak about Hollywood movies. This is not Avengers. This is happening. This is happening all around. So, is this what we're speaking about? You know, this is not Superman. So, and this causes things like that. And then, what the first thing you would think? Some stone came from the sky and hit a building. No. Actually, the impact was really far away from this place. This is just a shockwave did that. On Google or something, you can look for the crater it was left. That was quite big. So, but it was hundreds and hundreds of injured people. And then it starts to get quite clear that we have to look up, you know. And if you still have some doubts, you can still ask for the dinosaurs. This is the impact, the meteorite that killed the dinosaurs, actually that vanished 75% of life on Earth. This is the crater in Mexico, quite big. This was really, really a huge piece of rock. It covered a lot of earth, it threw up a lot of dust, blocked the sun, everything died. Okay, I mean, but this is an event that's quite rare. I mean, we're not saying big asteroid flying all around and we are running for all the places. This is not happening a lot. Or maybe it is. We have this example that's becoming quite popular on the internet. And this is not something that's not true, because, I mean, it's become quite popular because it will happen. We have this apophysis, which is a piece of rock with the size of the Times Square building. It's actually big. And it will come really, really, really close to Earth in 2029. Here in the red one we have the orbit of apophysis, and the blue line we have the Earth here moving. Here is apophysis. You see that at some point here they will come quite close together. What will happen is the Earth will bend the orbit from apophysis, and this actually won't hit us. but then it would come even closer in 7 years after. So it's 2036. Actually, the day is 13 April. It's a Friday. You know, we don't. You're laughing. We don't play with these things. These things actually, they're pretty important. But in the end, you can be safe. Then I'm quite sure that you look on Google and you know that in the end you will be safe, because this thing will just vanish away. So we need government applying money in science, you know, because we want to stay alive. So when we speak about government, it's always complicated, because as I try to speak with you here all along, we need to put money in science. And nowadays it doesn't matter much if you voted for some president or not. Things are changing, you know. And this is the amount of how much money, independent from where you come from, you're putting in science. So what I want to tell you with this is that it's quite important. People have to invest in science, you know. And just to finish with you, I want to come for the classics, you know. Let's just touch once more the Romans and science. Don't know if you all know Carl Sagan, but he had the brilliant, maybe the most beautiful idea in astronomy you will ever hear. The beginning of our universe. There was only helium and hydrogen. We have plenty of carbon on our body, you know. And this carbon has to come from somewhere. We needed to make it. And actually, it is done inside the stars by fusion. We can create the heavier elements. So, definitely, 90% of our body come from fusion that happens inside the star. The stars will explode, this enriches the universe, but at the end of the day, you can always say that you are a piece of a star. And that's it. I hope you like it.
We'll now move on to taking some questions from the staff. Oh, can I get the handheld? The handheld. Okay. Questions? There. Let me see where it is. Wait, so we're gonna do it this way. You tell it to me, and then I repeat it. Oh, look at this.
Okay. Just say your name at first,
Yep.
and you can make question of absolutely whatever you want in general astronomy. Go ahead.
My name is Mateus.
Mateus.
Are you from Brazil?
I do am.
Me too. And I would ask, what's your point of view? Because in our education system in Brazil, we don't have much astronomy classes in the basic education. Do you
Right.
think that if we put some more astronomical background in the schools since from the beginning, would help children to have more interest in astronomy?
Cool. Totally got your question. And Mateus, I am the Brazilian that has I'm really proud of being Brazilian actually. And you know, I mean, as I am, Brazil is a mess.
Are there more
No.
Brazilians, by the way? Hey, there's another colleague.
Okay, cool. This friend of mine over there, also Brazilian. So yeah. But I mean, obviously, the answer for your question is yes. But it's complicated. We need so many things all around. We need to be re-educated. And as our speaker or presenter was saying, you know, in a world starving, we have always this question: can we still caring for science? But yeah, we need this. As I showed you, you have plenty of examples how science changed our lives. But definitely, the answer of your question is yes. But how it is implemented, this is quite complicated.
Yeah. That was exactly what I was thinking about. Is how can you make people continuously remember why you're doing this?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but this is the thing. When you're searching for answers all days, I mean, you start to ask yourself if you need that answer, you know. But yeah, we have also plenty of changes in astronomy being noticed. We have the gravitational waves just some months ago, you know, that was quite popular. So I mean, my hope is that this kind of big things.
Yeah,
you know,
Neil deGrasse Tyson does.
You have Neil deGrasse and make a show all around.
Yeah. Questions here.
My name is Chris.
Chris.
I have a question about your opinion about something. I've heard a rumor that the Soviet Union and the US want to cooperate in the 1963 so that the astronaut and the cosmonauts going together to the moon. But the plan was go in the grave with John F. Kennedy. But what is your opinion about the cooperation of those supernations?
Right. The thing about, I mean, your question is general about traveling out of Earth. This is at first incredible if you think how we went to the moon at first. Early 80s. We had computers that were, I mean, ridiculous computer, you know, and we went there. So the capitalism took everything and we stopped the run out of Earth, you know. So I don't know. You said about a rumor. I don't know. I don't know exactly the rumor you're speaking about. But the thing is, we have much technology to go even further than the moon. You know, I don't see much reason for going back to the moon. Actually, scientifically speaking, let's say this way. When we went at first, we
I think. But what I mean is, if we cooperate with right now NASA, Europe, and Russia, I think maybe we will be further away than where we are at now. So.
Maybe one thing is, why aren't they collaborating?
Exactly.
Why is everybody doing their own research? The Soviets, the US, China.
I mean, US is a quite complicated country as well, but why it's as I said to you, they have absolutely no reason. I mean, I have no idea to say why we are not in mass yet. I mean, it's unbelievable actually. We just stopped it. We just canceled, you know, how we were developing things, but who knows, someday we come back.
Yeah. We're taking one last question.
My name is Bas. Hello. You said money is limited is maybe a problem, but what if we consist that money is unlimited? What should be the first or major goal? Is it to go to Mars or even further? Or
Got you. I got completely. Yeah, money is a problem. If you look how much money NASA is receiving from the Cold War until now, it's dropping like mad. You know, we are investing less and less in science actually. But if the money was infinite, you know, we had some shit, we had some password, and and the money was forever. I think the problem when you put too much possibilities, you also receive a lot of bad things. I will give you a really clear example. Look, we all want the internet for everyone in the world. I also want that. But you see the numbers of crap we see on the internet. So, just imagine, you can make the same comparison. If you had the money all around, you can have a lot of crap science also. So, it would be good, yes, I really think so. As it would be good to have internet for everyone. It would produce really good things. That's a thing to think, you know.
And if I were to add on to that question,
and just one thing, if you have more, if you have time, you can go for more questions. But go ahead.
yeah, what we will do actually is you can stand over here, and then people can come
cool.
up to you and ask every question.
Cool.
Is that what is the number one point on the agenda of the astronomy research? Like, what is the thing everybody wants to tackle right now?
The Santo Graal, the dream of astronomy in the moment, is life out of Earth. The one that finds it, I mean, it will be the new Messias, for sure.
Cool. Please give it up. And Luiz will be available here on the side. You can ask more questions, exchange details, ask way more questions. Thank you. And he will be receiving a gift from the campus party.
Thanks a lot. Nice.